inside of us too? Okay, that's a great question. Anybody else got any other questions? Yeah, what's up?
What are some of your favorite abridged series to watch?
Code Men.
I hate that.
There's only one scene that's really phenomenal.
The guy who does
What?
an asshole.
There's one scene that's phenomenal.
There's many scenes that are phenomenal in Code Men.
The soup thing was amazing.
Yeah. Hey, just feel good that you at least got credited this time, and it's not just a viral clip that people are like, "What? Who made that?" Right? By the way, Purple Eyes is here. Round of applause for this guy. He's very talented. Yeah. For people who have seen Pokemon Bridge, he voiced Dr. Janitor in episode 22. So yeah.
I don't really watch a British series.
Me neither.
Oh, you just watched?
So we just watch Code Men. That's it.
Yeah.
Code Men's probably top of my list, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge is good too. I've got a lot of fond memories of that, and that's probably why I'm doing what I'm doing now. Yeah. So I would say definitely got to put Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridged up there. All right, cool. Any other questions? Yes.
When you get the original footage?
Legally. I'm sorry, I can't give any more details than that. Okay.
Just get a VPN.
But we support the official release. We own the DVDs, and we have and the Blu-rays. We buy a lot of Pokemon stuff, and we also have a subscription to Netflix, and they have the first season on there.
I hope you can understand why that answer was the way it was. Okay. Any other questions that we can answer for real? I'm going to get to you next in the back, but the pause first. Yeah.
I wanted to ask, how long does it take to make like one episode?
That's a great question. Start to finish? Yeah. Well, do you want me to answer or do you want to talk? Yeah, okay. Sorry, I just don't want this to be the mic talking panel because that's never a good panel. Okay. Yeah, laughing because it's true. Yeah. Take away me? I'm gonna go. Okay. Well, the writing can vary. We've written an episode in as quick as 3 hours, and I believe that that was the 3 or 4 hours it took us to write episode 19. I distinctly remember because we did it in one session, and that was the episode where we had the Team 4-Star guys, the core guys cameo, those Taka, Kaiser, and Lanny as the 3 Eevee brothers. And as soon as we knew, we want them to play it, and we know exactly what we want to do with it. Boom! Immediately, it was one night, 4 hours, and it's one of our better episodes. So there's no necessarily correlation. In fact, sometimes if we're really struggling with an episode, it doesn't come out as well, and so the more time it takes does not necessarily mean that it was better. It could take up to, I would say, 10 to 15 hours for a typical episode altogether. We don't do 10 to 15 hours straight because we don't hate ourselves that much. Do you have anything you wanted to add to that part? Okay. For voice acting, the difficulty is really finding the time when we're all able to, when our throats are feeling up to it and such, and when we have the time. But not particularly long. I'd say, total man hours of that is 3 total maybe for an episode, maybe a little bit longer depending on redos. And editing, I have estimated in the past that it takes roughly 40 hours for an average episode. It can take more than that, though, but depending on how much of a perfectionist I'm being with the footage, I will often go back in and I'll recolor stuff that the footage just doesn't look good at. I'll correct the little animation errors. Yeah, I'll do that because I'm crazy. Yeah.
Testing this microphone because the speakers were turned up, so I thought it might work.
It might, but it's still soft. Yeah.
Anyway,
Why don't you trade mics? Because mics.
that's what I kept saying. He was like, "Wait, really?
Yeah.
Give it a go, right now. Give it a go." Okay. Yeah, no, Mike is insane. Mike has done so much to make the maybe you might not remember from your childhood, but the Pokemon anime does not look good sometimes. Sometimes it's real bad.
It's just old.
It's just old is the problem. Yeah. Like they got tape at the top and it'll just Yeah, so Mike has gone through, and I think it was the episode 15. He went in, he didn't have to do this. He went in and recolored every shot from that episode.
There was artifacts.
There were artifacts on it.
There we go.
There were little vertical lines going up and down every single shot, and I did not like that. So I went through every single frame. We also were very lucky because Inigadata Vida, who used to work on Weekly Tube Show, edited episode 14 while I was working on 15. So 14 had just come out, and I had free time when 15 was done. I didn't want it to come out immediately after 14. I mean, we don't generally hold back episodes from you guys, I promise, but that was like a special occasion, and so I went through and I spent time making the footage actually look good, because it would have bothered me for the rest of time. Like every editing error I've ever left into something, I remember it. Well, I don't remember it necessarily, but when it comes up, I'm like, oh, you. Yeah, so cool. That was a good question. You were next, right?
What do you think about the new Pokemon Go? Let's Go.
Let's go. I'm very much looking forward to that. Minus the megas. Megas are mega stupid.
I want Pokemon to follow me around. I'm very excited for that.
Yes.
Like there was there's a little.
You also
demo.
never played Heart Gold.
Right, yeah, so I never got that experience. There was a shot from the new game. Thank you. There was a shot from the new game where there's like a Charmander following you, and I'm like, this is gonna be the best game ever. And then there was footage of a Magikarp following you, and I was like, this is the best game ever. Like, realistically, we're probably just gonna use it for that.
I do like that the Pokemon, I know some people don't like it, but I do like that the Pokemon company still has some nostalgia themselves for Gen 1, or at least they recognize that that is out there, because they keep seeming to try and cash in on Gen 1. You know, when the Megas came out, guess what they did? They were like, oh, Gen 1, Gen 1. When the Alolan forms came out, Gen 1, Gen 1. They know it's the best gen, all right? Corinne, all right?
I didn't say it was the first.
But they know that that's where most of the nostalgia is, and I forget where I was going to go with that. No, yeah, Gen 5 is the worst, but
Gen 3 is the worst.
it was. No, Gen 5 was the worst. It is. So it's my panel, and when you leave here, you're allowed to have your opinions, but everybody must agree with me here. Like, this is my room, and I will turn this panel around. If you do not agree with me, I will do it right now. What? Next question? Do we answer that? Okay. Next question. In the back with the... Yes. You. Yes.
Any advice on how to start my own bridge?
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't.
Or, alternatively, time travel to 10 years ago and then do it. Yeah. No, well, if you want... No, actually, that's not my advice. If you want to make something, do it. You know what I mean? I guess it doesn't always apply, but for this, I think it's safe for an abridged series. Yeah, do it. Like, just use it, think of it as a way, if nothing else, to practice your writing skills, your voice acting skills, your editing skills, and maybe one day, one of those will come in very, very useful, and you'll be thankful that you did it. So just do it. And the answer is just do it. I wasn't prepared. You want to know how I got into abridging? Here's my really embarrassing fact about how I got into abridging, okay? I was in high school. I had a communications class. They gave me a stupid-ass project, and they said, teach the class how to do something. And I'm like, this is an excuse for me to make an abridged series. I had never made one, and I'm going to teach the class how to do it, right? I actually had a slide in my PowerPoint presentation that was like, don't worry, if you can't do voices, go into Audacity and change your pitch. Like, don't ever do that. But that just goes to show you, I just did it, and then over time we got better, and I learned more and more things very slowly, and you know, we're not great, but like, we're making stuff now, and it looks a hell of a lot better than it ever did. So I would do something along those lines. Just do something. Just do it.
Yeah, I would say do it for the right reasons. I mean, if you're just doing it for like, I don't know, like fame or money or whatever, and it's not fun.
Yeah, money. Yeah.
All the money, all the abridged money. But I mean, like really, like do it because it's fun. If you're getting something out of it, just do that. I mean, like if we all do something that's fun, then you don't you're not having any repercussions, any negative repercussions if you fail. So because you have fun along the way.
With our friends. Yeah, no, it's my advice would be to like if I have an idea for an abridged series, I always think, could I make an original idea out of that? Like something where it won't get taken down for copyright if I breathe wrong, you know. So yeah, like I'm doing a cooking show right now, and that started shooting last Tuesday, and that's awesome. And I didn't think that would ever happen. But if I hadn't made my abridged series, it wouldn't have happened. So, you know, if you want to make an abridged series, go for it. But, you know, maybe try to use it as a stepping stone to think of like an original, you know, idea. And that people don't have the rights over. That's the thing.